Hi there, here's a wee clip from my dog reactivity course. Hope you find it very useful. If you're interested in the course, I will put the full details in the comments. Hope you enjoy. Take care. Then those things will trigger the same anxiety. So the presence of a predictor can also put them into that kind of fight or flight mode. For a reactive dog, as I said earlier, it could be something like the smell of a dog. So maybe they smell a rival dog that they've met before. Perhaps they can smell a cat. The smell becomes a predictor for the cat. Or maybe they're used to always seeing a cat in a certain driveway or in a bush or under a car. And every time you go back to that place, they immediately look for the cat where they've seen it before. That's a predictor because that also triggers the same response as they would have had they seen the cat themselves. Guarding behaviour can put us under pressure. Feeling overexcited can put us under pressure. Being frustrated can keep us under pressure. And having our individual needs not met, any of those kinds of needs. And of course, medical concerns. If your dog's not feeling very well, maybe he's got a headache or some pain somewhere, or perhaps things aren't working quite as they should, those are all things that can push our dogs under pressure, and they can all build up to cause overwhelm. Individually, probably most dogs can cope with one or two of these, but they can stack up throughout a normal day. So when they start to stack up, how does that look? So I feel like the dog's brain is a bit like a bucket. And as we start to throw in experiences and pressures and new smells and sights and all things like that, they all go inside this bucket. So on this day, we start well. We've got a lovely empty bucket when we wake up. Then maybe the postman comes, perhaps breakfast was good. Then things start to perhaps get a little bit tense when the kids are getting ready to go to school. So all of these things get piled into your bucket. And as the day goes on, more and more start to add in. So we maybe do some sniffing in the garden, we go for a trip in the car, perhaps there's delays about getting the lead on and leaving the house. Now you need a pee, we're seeing other dogs. All of these things are all adding up. More sniffs, there was a noise, what was that? Was the fridge door opened? All of these things, we can keep adding them on. We saw a man, we saw a dog, they're just adding in. And we maybe only got to midday and boom, we've reached overwhelm. So when we get to this point then, there's no room in your bucket for any more information. We can't handle any more stimulus. We can't handle any more triggers. We can't handle any more thoughts or experiences. Now we're in fight or flight mode. And as you can see from that chart I put up earlier, where you could see my heart rate, I was in fight or flight mode at that point. But you wouldn't have known from the outside. So you could be looking at your dog, he could be walking around and he's having and he looks like he's having a great day. He's not looking too under pressure, but he's now in this position of overwhelm. And while he's here, almost anything could happen now. So if a dog was to run into a space, or a loud noise was to suddenly happen, or he was to suddenly see a cat, or something like that could have happened, then while he's in this mode, he's very vulnerable to going into that fight or flight mode and getting triggered into a reactive behavior. So a lot of what we do is about keeping them out of this reactive mode, out of overwhelm, plenty of room in their bucket, so that when new experiences do happen to them, they've got plenty of tolerance for those things.